Hi, and welcome to my reaction video to Dark Season 2, Episode 2, titled Dark Matter. And I usually have the IMDb score at hand. I forgot to look it up, so I will do that while speaking. A little bit of housekeeping before we watch the episode. Last time for Episode 1, I said that I was going to watch it in English because I was assuming that the majority of the viewers watching it would be English speakers. And so, because the subtitles are a little hard to read, can be a little hard to read, I felt that it would be hard for English speakers to follow along to the program during my commentary. However, in season 1, I said that I could tell from my analytics that maybe 15 to 20% of the people watching the video for my reviews to Dark Season 1 were German. Because they're coming from German sources, German internet traffic. The origin was Germany. That was convoluted, but you get the idea. However, now the analytics are a little foggy. They're usually for the geography source. Most videos don't even list it, unfortunately, for me, because I'm not living in America, so the traffic, I think, is harder for YouTube to read. However, for the last video, it did give me a geography reading, and if I'm looking at the numbers correctly, it looks like we have doubled the number of German viewers for the reaction videos. So instead of 15 to 20%, I think the number of the percentage of my audience that is German that is watching is now 40 to 50%, which is no longer a minority. That is nearly equal majority. And I got one comment that said, watch it in German. So I will watch this episode in German with English subtitles, and I will put it up to a vote again. So after you finish watching or in the middle of watching, let me know, should I watch this in English or should I watch it in German? What is the best for you? Now, for me, I prefer the German actors. The German actors are quite good, but during the recording, the English is better because I can still follow along while I'm speaking to the camera. If it's in German, I have to speak and lose the story because I can't read the subtitles. So that is the most significant drawback to playing it in German, is that it becomes more difficult for me to follow along and speak to the camera. So we'll give it a try. We'll give it a try this time. And always, before I do my review, after watching the reaction video, I watch it a second or even a third time. So even if I get a little lost while speaking to the camera, I'll pick up that scene later. So it may not be that bad. Now I'm trying to get the score. 9.1. Woo, that is quite high. 9.1 for Dark Matter. Okay, now that I've gotten the preliminary material out of the way, the housekeeping is done. Let's get into the reaction video. And just like before, if you joined me for episode 1, you saw that I had the map, the guide map to all the characters in the show. So if you see me looking down at any point, it's because I'm looking up one of the numerous characters of the series so that I can use their name in the middle of the commentary instead of saying, oh, that girl that did the blah, blah, blah. I can say, oh yeah, that's Marta. This is invaluable. All right, that's it for now. Join me after the intro and we will get into my reaction of Dark Season 2, Episode 2, Dark Matter. I really need to read up on the God particle because I know that the God particle is a real scientific thing. I was about to say, who's talking? That's the cassette tape. So who is that on the cassette tape? Are we going to see that actually being recorded? Are we going to go back in time and see them recording that? So if it's a recursive system, that's something he has to break, because the recursion is what's creating all these time paradoxes that they are stuck in. So that's gaseous. It's solid matter surrounded by gas? I know that's kind of what they were saying, that it was gaseous, liquid, and solid, if I'm not mistaken. It seems to be all three at the same time, and then he did something and it seemed to solidify. Something that was pointed out during season 1 was that this opening credits sequence tends to have elements that'll happen in future episodes. That they're very oblique, though. You can't always guess what it's going to be. But for example, that body in the morgue is probably something related to something that will happen in a future episode.
Meine Mutter hat heute Geburtstag.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. What, I'm not your mom? Yeah, she's not happy with that. I'm gonna pin you down. No, we're getting rickrolled. No! I have a bad feeling about something happening to Aegon. Just because he just seems to drop out of the story, and we haven't heard whatever happened to him. I don't believe we have. He seems to drop out of the story around this time period. Is he the one that... Did Alexander take his identity? Because I definitely feel like he is not who he says he is. He seems to know a little bit too much now also about Alexander and Regina. And Alexander had the fake passport. Is he the one that he took, that supplied the passport? Is that the identity that Alexander stole? Oh wow, you're gonna show her about the time machine? Oh my god. I was not expecting this. Oh, this is interesting. Hannah and Katerina tooling around together. Wait a sec. Wait. She's seeing herself. What? She's got different colored eyes. She's got different colored eyes too. Oh, she's got different colored eyes. I never noticed that before. Did she have different colored eyes before? Maybe if you meet yourself, it changes the color of your eyes. Isn't there another character that had different colored eyes I noticed last episode? So this turns into an obsession for all these characters. They're all these characters that are creating corkboards with the mystery and the facts that they're gathering laid out. And he's one of them. I swear to God something's going to happen to Aegon. Okay, brown right, blue left. Brown right, blue left. Okay, that's consistent. I thought maybe it would be a mirror. Brown left, blue right, but it's consistent. I swear to God there was another character. Was it Elizabeth that had different color eyes in the future? So this is part of the recursion that they're trying to break. Having these loops that you can't escape. As long as there's recursion, there can't be any free will. A closed loop. Alright, so is it going to be the rule of threes? Because he was warned, we've seen the danger of him going into this forbidden zone. The rule of threes means that he would do it twice and not suffer any consequences, and the third time is the time he'd be caught. So that would make this the second time if they're going to follow that trope of the rule of threes. Oh well, we're caught in a trap. Pretty appropriate considering what we're talking about. If this were a zombie movie, all the zombies would run towards the noise now. Alright, so he needs the fuel for the machine that he's using the dark matter for. That was a long distance for him to cover.
Elisabeth hat Schwimmunterricht, das...
He's got to know something's up.
Sie können sich ein Taxi nehmen.
Wait, what's going on? Uh-oh, wait, what's this?
Dieser Fremde. Wie sah der genau aus?
He's totally a mole. This guy is totally a mole. So if I understand this right, Jonas doesn't need this anymore. Only the mom needs the time machine. Jonas is trapped in the time loop. He can travel anytime he wants, if I'm correct. So is that a wormhole that's being created? Or an entrance into the wormhole? Does he have a knife in his hand? Aegon, I think you're about to buy it, Aegon. Okay, so rule of 3 says he would get caught here if they're going to follow that. Yep. They get caught. Yep, rule of 3s. So that was a bit predictable. Different color eyes. Blue and brown. Huh. Oh, poor Ulrich.
Wird sich ja freuen, dass mal Besuch bekommt.
How do you lock this guy up and then forget he's there till 33 years later?
Nein, der ist in der geschlossenen.
I don't believe that. You lock him up and then just forget about him. I don't believe that.
Glaubst du, dass er für uns einen Plan hat?
Pretty sure he's gotten taller. His voice is a little deeper than season 1. Hello, darkness, my old friend. The heck is this? The heck? Who is in the ground there? So she put something in the ground for her to find. Dude, she had to be in the past to be able to do that. So 1953. She had to bury that in 1953 for her to find it in 1986.
Ich weiß noch alles kein Sinn, aber
that's
das
who's
ist vielleicht der
speaking,
einzige
alright.
Weg, um zurück nach Hause zu kommen. Keine Ahnung, ob es funktioniert.
So maybe that's what she uncovered with the tapes, which told her what she needed to say on the tapes so that Jonas could hear them, so that Jonas could turn on the machine. That's my guess.
Jonas!
Still wondering who that is. Oh, okay, well, head is spinning. So join me in a bit, and I will watch this again and read commentary. Mainly I go to Reddit because that's the place I can go and not get spoiled. There's a real lack of commentary and criticism on this show in English, unfortunately. So that makes it a little more difficult to kind of uncover the deeper themes or find things I would have missed the first time. But join me in a bit and I will give you my review on this episode. And welcome back. So, I have watched the episode 3 times and I've read the threads on Reddit. That's the extent of my reading criticism and reviews of the episode. Unfortunately, Dark has a real dearth of commentary in English. It's unfortunate because it makes my job a lot easier when I can read the remarks of other people and see what perspective they have on the episode. But for the most part, my feeling about the episode was that it was in some ways kind of a typical episode 2 for a season, wherein episode 1 is laying down the groundwork for what's going to happen in the episode, introducing new characters and telling backstory. And episode 2 can begin to complicate what happens. And so we saw that Jonas took his mom on a time travel trip. We saw that, I believe it's Regina or Charlotte. Hold on. Claudia gives the time travel device to herself. So old Claudia gives it to medium Claudia. Wait, the 2019 Claudia gives the time traveling device to the 1986 Claudia. And there was one other character. Charlotte really believes now that time travel is what's happening. So the very concise story that of the concise circle of people who knew about time traveling in season 1 is completely obliterated now, and so that seems to make the plot a lot messier. And Jonas more and more just seems to be the key to everything. So some of the guesses on Reddit, and this is why reading Reddit is a two-edged sword, because even though the thread there, the rules are you only comment on the episode that's being discussed, no spoilers, I can't help but believe that there are people there who troll, who pretend that they don't know what's going to happen and then spoil things, or people will come back into the thread after they've watched the rest of the season and say, oh, my guess was correct, or boy, did I not know. And so even if they aren't trolling and spoiling, they leave these hints. So that's kind of the reason why I feel Jonas is super important. Like, I don't know for sure, but from remarks in Reddit and guesses about if he has more of a relationship with other characters than we know, I don't want to go more into that than that. Even though it was not a spoiler, it was people making guesses, it's pretty good. So I do feel that even though when the show began, Jonas did not appear to be the center of everything, Mikhail and then Ulrich seemed to be very important, and also the detective, Aegon. But from about the middle point of the season, I think, after we had visited Mikhail, after we had gone with Mikhail back to 1986, and we saw that Mikhail was stuck in time, and then even more so after Ulrich gets stuck in time, Jonas became the last person for us as a viewpoint character, the last viewpoint character that wasn't sort of disposed of by the plot. And it appears more and more he is going to be that role, that viewpoint character for us. So that's all I want to go into, because I'm being very cautious. Even though some of the guesses in that thread may be wrong, I'm just going to assume some of them spoiled things or that they were correct guesses, and I don't want to spoil it for you in case you've only watched up to this point. Like I said, I don't know that they're spoilers, but I'm guessing there were, so I'm just going to stop there. So in any event, I've thoroughly enjoyed the episode. I really love this show, and I hope you'll come back and join me for my next review or reaction on this channel. So that's all for now. Until next time, take care and be well. Goodbye.